Hi, everyone. Hi, can you hear me okay? Just wave like that if you can hear me okay. Excited to chat with you. We're going to get started in just a minute. For those of you that are new to Zoom, I'm just going to give you a few little things so we can make sure to interact and I can see you and chat with you. There's an option to turn your video on. If you look, usually if you're on your laptop, it's on the bottom left, you'll see video. So you can click video on or off. If you're open to it, I'd love to be able to actually see you. So it would be great if you turn your video on so I can see you, and that way I can be able to scroll at any time. And then in the top right, you'll see a thing that says speaker view, and you can always click on that. That way you can see who's in the class, or you could focus on me or hear who's talking. It's up to you how you want to view this, okay? So that's just a quick little thing there. And then you can raise your hand like this physically at any time, or there's a little, if you click on your site, there's a way to raise your hand. So it should be over your picture. You can actually click raise hand and it will raise like a little cartoon hand. So that's how I'll know you have a question. You also, there's a chat box if you've not used Zoom. If you press chat, you can see people communicating. You can always ask questions there. I've got 2 people on from my team, so they'll be monitoring the chat as well, so we'll make sure we answer anything that comes up. And I think that's the main thing with Zoom. Now, I do want to give you just a minute. If you don't have paper and pen nearby, definitely grab it, because I've got a lot of information to cover quick, and I want to make sure you get the most out of this. And as much as I want you to be present with me, something might come up you want to write down. So I just want to give you a minute to go ahead and grab that so you feel good. I have muted everybody, but if you have a question at any time and I call on you or you raise your hand, I will be able to manually unmute you, and I may ask you to unmute yourself if it's stuck, and you'll just put the little arrow, the mouse over your picture, and you'll click unmute, and that's how I will be able to hear you. Awesome, guys. Oops, somebody just clicked screen share. We don't want that. So let's see. Laura, you just opened your screen. So, oh, there we go. Okay, good. We don't want that. That's the only thing that could go wrong with Zoom. So if we see that, somebody's opened their screen share. Okay, so speaker view, I'm gonna put it on right here. Let's see, gallery view. All right, so thanks everyone for joining me. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. This is the first time I've done a large Zoom like this with just everybody that I'm talking to on social media. I can see some of my clients on here too. Hi, Jess. Hi, Landa. Hi, Sandy. I see a bunch of familiar faces. But this is the first time I've done one of this general nature and opened it up like this. So I'm super excited to do that. And I apologize in advance if I miss anything. So I'm really determined that I'm going to talk to everybody and really connect with you guys today. So thanks for being here. And what to expect on this is, there's so much I could cover with you, but what I really wanted to dive into today is how we can make a shift going into 2019 that's different from what we've done before. Different from what I've done before. Because by show of hands, how many of you can relate to, like, we go into 2019 with, I know what to do, but then I just don't do it. Like, can anyone? Because I'm right there sometimes. So be honest with me. How many, it's like we know what to do, and I'm not talking just about our bodies, like I'm talking about everything. Like we decide this is our year to get our finances in order. And we're like, okay, I got it. This year I'm spending less, I'm earning more, and then like somehow we find ourselves back where we were. Or this year I'm gonna get in the best shape of my life, and then somehow we didn't by the end of the year, right? Or this year I'm eating completely clean, it's gonna be amazing, and somehow we're back here again. Can you guys relate to this? It's like a pattern. So here's the thing, you know, if it was easy to accomplish goals, we wouldn't need to be here. We wouldn't need to be on the Zoom with me. If it was super easy, we'd snap our fingers and we would do it. So there's more to it than that. There's more to it to that. And I've spent a lot of time really working with people on transformation and studying what makes things happen, what makes things happen that last and change forever. And that's really what I wanted to dive into today. Are you guys open to this today? So it's gonna be a little bit different. I'm not just gonna be giving you a diet tip or a new exercise plan. I wanna get into your minds a little bit. I got a lot of notes here, so I don't miss anything. So what I'd love for you to do First and foremost, if you have your paper and your pen, I want you to take a moment and I want you to write down, because I want this to be really effective for you today. I want you to write down exactly where you are right now. And let me give you a little bit of framing behind that. When I see a weight loss client, the very first thing we do is we say, get on a scale, let's face reality, let's take pictures and measurements, because we need a starting point, okay? When I see a client for business or personal development, I also, in that same manner, I wanna know, where are they financially? Where are they in their relationship? Where are they in their happiness scale? We wanna get a reality check for where you are right now, because if you don't take a hard look at where you are starting from right now, it's very hard to make changes moving forward. So I'm just gonna ask you some questions to prompt to this, okay? And you can write down things, whether it's these questions or on your own, something else, but I want you to really think through these things and get really real. I'm not gonna see these notes here. These are for you. You write them down so you can get really real with where you are. Especially if I'm talking to some of you in your 40s and 50s, maybe early 60s, okay? Are you feeling a little overweight? Write that down if you are. Or a lot overweight. What are you feeling there? Write that down. Do you feel like, and I some of these terms I use because this is what clients have told me before. So do you feel like the ship has sailed? Hey, I was once great in my 20s and 30s and now I'm not. Or I once was really excited about my career and business, but now I'm not. Do you feel like the ship has sailed? Just be honest. Write this down. Are you low on energy? Do you feel exhausted? And if you feel that way, have you justified that it's okay because you're older or a mom or a grandma or busy? But just get really real. And the big one, do you feel like it's too late? Because this is a really big reality check, especially as I deal with women in their 40s and 50s and beyond. I hear a lot I feel it's too late. And I want you to get real. Do you feel that way? Write it down if you do. Do you feel that you've let yourself go? When you look in the mirror at yourself when you're getting ready, do you feel like I've let myself go? I remember a time I myself would look in the mirror and I was like, dang, that's my mom. What happened? Well, why am I looking at my mom? I was like, that's not me. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like you're not looking at yourself? You see someone else that's not you? Do you feel like you are hiding from others how you really feel? Do you feel inauthentic? You're not really sharing who you are, how you feel anymore? And do you feel like you live in the past? I've been there where, I feel like I keep going back to what I felt like that or what I looked like that or what I did then. Do you feel like you're living in the past and find yourself talking about in the past, I was this? I'm talking about not just physical appearance. I'm talking about financially, motivation, energy, your career, everything. Do you feel that? And do you feel like you're hiding the truth? Are you not telling your spouse, your kids, your friends, your family how you really feel? That's what I want to know. And please be honest with this. Write this down. Again, I'm not going to see this, but you have to know where you're starting from, even if this feels somewhat painful or stretchy. It's really important that you have a starting point so we know how to shift this and where to change from. Okay? And then I want you to draw a big line if you're writing, draw a big line or start a new page. Because the bigger question is, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? And as I ask you these questions, my favor to ask, my request of you is to not let your mind go to the how. We tend to do that. I want to be rich, but I don't know how to. Or I want a new job, but I have oh, but it's too late. We go to this how. I want to lose weight, but I've tried everything before. So as I ask you these questions on where you actually want to go, stop yourself from the excuses and reasons why you can't. You guys, raise your hand if you're on board with that. Okay, because I know a lot of us, me included, sometimes gets in our head about why we can't do something. Because I'm gonna give you some methods on what we can do to shift this, but you got to get really real. So my question is, where do you want to go? And I want you to think everything, physically, financially, relationship, career, anything that's been on you. If you could fantasize, where do you want to be? Like if it was a year from now, where do you want to be? Like if you're looking in the mirror, what do you see? What do you see? Get really real with that. Like, do you see yourself a specific size? Do you see yourself attractive? Do you see yourself looking more youthful? And then how does it feel? Do you feel confident? Do you feel full of energy? Do you feel happy? Do you feel, what is it that you feel? And use words. I want you to really use words like authentic. I feel authentic. I feel attractive. I feel hot. I feel sexy. What is it? How do you feel? Okay. Do you feel like you're in control and like you run the day? I hear a lot of times from women that we feel out of control, like we're not in charge of our day. We're sitting here like picking up other people's to-dos for us. We're chasing. Maybe you like that, maybe you don't, but how do you want to feel? Like if we're talking on this call a year from now, how do you want to actually feel? Do you want to feel confident? How about inspiring? Do you want to be inspiring, like your friends, your family, like, oh my gosh, I want to be around you. I want more of whatever it is that you're doing. Do you want more of that? And get really clear, like whether maybe you're single and you're dating again, like how do you want to feel on a date? Or maybe you're a grandma and you're playing with your kids and you want more energy, like how do you want to feel? And the reason I'm asking you these questions is so many times we think we know what we want, but we don't really take the time to visualize specifically what we want. We just say, I want to be thinner. I want to have more money. I want to be happier. But we don't really get clear on what it is that we want. And I want to do this right now with you because it's going to make a big difference getting clear on what it is that you want, on what you want and how you want to feel. Okay? So write this down. And then I want you to think you're a year from now and you've achieved this. Most importantly, what emotions are you attaching to this? How would somebody describe you now? How do you feel? Are you hitting snooze and not wanting to get out of bed because you don't want to deal with your closet and things not fitting and seeing people because you feel fake? Or are you like jumping out of bed excited to start the day because you have so much energy and you can't wait to put those new skinny jeans on? Like, get clear with why, is it that you want and why? Maybe for you it's not physical appearance. Maybe it's completely financial. Maybe it's completely a relationship. But whatever that is, it's okay. There's no right or wrong to this. But I want you to get really clear on what it is and why you want it. And some words I'm going to throw out because this is what I love to see, especially when I work with clients and I see this transformation. You know, I hear that they are more confident. That's a big word. They feel confident. They feel courageous, like they want to try more things. They feel like they're more of a risk taker now. They feel more passionate about life. Like all of a sudden they're excited about things again. They're not bored. They're happy. They have new hobbies. They're excited. They're passionate. How would it feel if this is you? Okay. Now, the next question I'm going to ask you, and this we're going to do a little bit on this call, but some of this will be done after. You'll continue this on your own, okay? Is really with anything that it is you want, one of the biggest missing links to that is really understanding the why it is that you want that. So let's just say you picked one thing, like let's just take one of them as I want to lose weight. Because that's such a common one, especially with my audience. I want to lose weight. What I want you to really do with that is go, I call it 10 levels deep on the why. I teach this in my programs. It's called a driving core motivator. Like, why is it that you want that? And then ask yourself 10 more whys. So for example, why do you want to lose weight? You would answer, and then I would ask more questions. And I'd actually like to take a volunteer if anybody wants to do this exercise with me right now. I want to take you through this path. So just raise your hand if you're open to that. And I'm going to pick somebody to take through this exercise. Let's see. Keep your hand up so I can see. Patty! All right, Patty, you're on. Can you hear me?
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Okay, Patty.
Yes.
Give me one of your goals.
Okay, so one of my goals is where do I want to go in a year from now? Where do I see myself? I see myself healthier. What I mean by that is I don't want to lose weight necessarily, but because of my age, I need to lose the marshmallow, if you will, the squishiness,
Okay.
so that I can feel better.
Okay, so let me take you, so we're going to start with, you want to lose the squishiness.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to start with that. So I'm going to go deep with you on this driving car motivator. Okay, Patty, why do you, and this is the key with this, you all, you want to get out of your head and you want to really think through, like, what's the feeling attached to this? So Patty, what do you feel now when you feel squishy?
Yucky.
Yucky, okay, I feel yucky. So why do you want to not feel yucky?
I want to feel lighter.
Why do you want to feel lighter?
Because my pants don't fit me.
And when your pants don't fit you, what does that mean?
It means that I need to, what does it mean? It means that I need to lose a few inches.
Okay, but why do you need to lose inches? I want you to think about the feeling there. So when your pants don't fit,
I can feel more confident.
Because if you don't feel confident, what happens?
You kind of feel.
Not me, not you, me, you.
I kind of feel like I'm not myself. I don't feel strong enough. I feel, it does make me feel a little sluggish, low energy.
Okay.
I lose my motivation.
So when you feel sluggish, low energy, no motivation, what does that do to your life?
It hinders it. It slows me down in other areas of my life. I want to be a role model for my daughters.
Okay, so when it hinders you in other areas and you don't feel like a role model, what does that do to you?
Makes me lose my confidence.
And when you lose your confidence, what does that do?
Well, makes me be more not myself. Like I'm not happy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're not happy. And when you're not happy, what does that create in your life?
Kind of aggravation. You kind of hold in all the discomfort. You become bitchy with your spouse or your kids, and you feel like you're not accomplishing your own goals, so you take it out on others.
Okay, so use the word I, Patty, because this is you. This isn't me. Okay, so I feel when I don't feel good about myself, I am bitchy. I'm taking it out on others. And what happens when you take it out on others and you're feeling that way?
And then my husband doesn't like it when
and then when your husband doesn't like it, what happens?
He starts yelling at me.
Okay, and then what happens to your marriage when your husband doesn't like it and he's yelling at you?
Yeah, I don't like to undress in front of him.
Okay, so now
it makes me feel uncomfortable for him to see me with a different body that I have now versus before I had kids or before I gained a few pounds. So I feel uncomfortable. Okay,
so, and when you feel uncomfortable, it sounds like a lot of areas of your life are suffering. You're saying you don't feel like a good role model to your kids. You don't feel confident with your husband. You're arguing. Your marriage suffers.
Yes.
Okay. Do you all see what I just did there? Okay, so that's called a driving core motivator. I got to the root with her. She got to the root just by me going deeper on what it is that she actually wants, but most importantly, why. A lot of times we go into a goal with, I want this, and we just go into do it mode, like I just want this, but we never really attach it to a true driving core motivator, and that is our block when I get a message that says, I'm just not motivated, or nothing works for me. I don't have any willpower. It's because we're not attaching to a driving core motivator. When we're super laser clear on a driving core motivator, it's amazing how we start to find solutions and find ways to make things work. Okay, and I'm sure you can all, if you really think back to a time in your life when you accomplished something you wanted, you had a driving core motivator to why you wanted it. Like, it's interesting how we find ways to make things happen when we really want it, and we're really clear on why we want it. Okay. Susanna, can I call on you for a minute? You okay? She didn't know I was gonna call on her, but I'm gonna show you guys something here. Susanna, I'm gonna unmute you. Whoops, you might have to unmute yourself. I just lost you. Thank you, Patty. Let's see. Where did Susanna go? I don't know where she went. I don't know where she went. When she comes back, we'll follow. Okay, Susanna, I don't know where she went, but I'm gonna show her anyway. So here it is. I wanna show you, she's a client of mine that really mastered this driving core motivator. This is her. Can you guys see that? Okay, this is her before. This is her after she got clear on her driving core motivator and learned. What you guys don't see is not just a weight change on here. What you see is that she said, I'm a new person. Her driving core motivator was she wanted energy and to feel happy and confident with her kids. That's what it started out with her grandkids. With her grandkids. Are you on now? There you are.
Hi.
Hi. Right? Your driving core motivator initially was you wanted to have more energy with your grandkids.
Absolutely. My number one.
And what happened when you decided that, when you got clear on your driving core motivator?
I did whatever it took to get there. I mowed people down. I moved things, my roadblocks. I just knocked them over, kicked them over, and just went straight ahead because I didn't want to waste any more of my time or my life.
Yeah, thank you. So what happens with a driving core motivator, which really, it becomes your secret weapon. It truly becomes your secret weapon, and it all of a sudden I don't feel like it goes away. So when you find yourself not motivated or not working towards a goal like consistently, the first thing you want to do is go back and question that driving core motivator. Like, do I have a strong enough driving core motivator? Do I have a strong enough why? Because that's going to be your first step in doing that. Okay, and I can give you countless examples of that, but that's really this first step is that. Okay, now I'm jumping ahead too much here, but I want you to know that wherever you are right now with your list, with the things that you wrote down of how you feel now, what you want to change, and where that magic wand would take you, I want you to recognize that your best thinking got you right here to where you are right now. So everything that you knew, your best thinking, got you right here to right where you are right now, whether you're 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, 60-year-old, whatever you are right now on this call, your best knowledge got you to right here. So somebody's saying there, hi Tisha, I see that. He's sharing his age. I see you. Thank you. Yeah, so your best thinking has gotten to right now. And what I want to share with you is that to change and to get to another level, you need someone outside of your best thinking to be an interruption for you. Because if you keep doing what you have always done, you're going to keep getting more of that. So recognize that it's important that you start to recognize that I've got to start thinking a little bit different if I'm going to get different results. Because your best thinking got you exactly right here. Now, the 3 things that will help change that, there's only 3 things that's going to help change that. 1, the desire. You have to want it. Some of you might get off this call today and say, I really just don't want it. I wanted to hear what she had to say, but I just don't want it bad enough. But that's the first thing. If you don't have the desire and the true want, then I can't help you. Nobody can help you. And that goes back into that driving core motivator, like, why do you want it? Because nobody else can make you have something or want it. The second thing is you have to be willing to take action. Now, some people say you have to take massive action. I'm going to say you just have to take action because massive action can be intimidating. But any action, one step in front of the other, can help move you forward. And I want to acknowledge all of you because you're on this call right now. So you already took an action, which is huge. So notice that you did that, which is great. And then the third thing is you've got to have the knowledge. And the knowledge needs to come from an outside place than what you've already gone to. Because your best thinking has got you to exactly where you are right now. And I also want you to recognize that there's a risk if you don't fix this, because you don't have to. But the risk of not fixing this right now is, if you really want to think of this, is what happens next year? Do you stay the same? Do you get worse? And I'm going to be honest and say that it will get worse, especially as we age. So if we don't nip this now and we don't change our way of thinking and take different actions now, then it will continue to get worse. That's a fact. I mean, we're all getting older. So we can reverse things, but the longer you wait, the worse that they get. So I'm going to encourage you to really, really take action on this. So I'm going to jump into sort of like the start of the solution here, okay? And this is where you want to definitely make sure you're taking notes. And the most important thing I'm going to share with you right now is that you can be an entirely different person this time next year by changing 2 things. Want to know what they are? It's very simple. Your thoughts and your actions. That's it. You can be an entirely different person a year from now by changing just 2 things, your thoughts and your actions. I want you to, on the piece of paper, write down a role model, somebody you look up to. It could be a celebrity, it could be somebody in your family, it could be a friend, but somebody that you look up to. Like really look up to, like maybe you want what they have. It could be Oprah. Somebody that you want what they have. You want to channel what they have. I want you to write their name down. And I want you to think about for a moment the way you've managed your day, your time, your week, if that is how they do theirs. Like, do they hit snooze? Do they watch reality TV? Do they scroll social media all day long? Do they complain about their job? Are they feeling the way you feel in your body? What do they think about? Who do they hang out with? You can be an entirely different person a year from now by just changing your thoughts and actions. Many of you know that I started a podcast this last few months. It's called Creating Everything from Nothing. It's called Leveling Up, Creating Everything from Nothing. And on that podcast, I've interviewed so far 45 people. I have about 30 interviews live where I went after people that were incredibly successful in life, not just financially. Some people, it was like they overcame massive medical conditions. Some people, it was just, I wanted to like, how does somebody make $100 million? Like, how did they do that? How did somebody that was told they'd never walk again learn to walk again? I wanted to interview those people. And the interesting thing about it is they all had very similar thoughts and actions. It's really amazing. And I work with people all the time that are stuck, and they have very specific, similar thoughts and actions. But we can become those other people. We can become that better version of us by fully changing our thoughts and actions, and it's not as hard as you think. It's not as hard as you think. Raise your hand if you want some steps on how we can start doing this. Okay. All right, I'm going to give you some actual steps. All right. Number 1, we get to decide. You get to make a decision right here, right now, that you are fully ready to do this and to step in a better version of you. It's as simple as that. Like, I'm deciding. Like, this is it, drawing a line in the sand, no more, this is happening right now. It's a decision. And you've got to like write it, say it, blast it everywhere. I've decided, period. I don't know if who here follows me on Instagram has seen my stories recently. Like, I recently decided I was gonna learn to do the splits, like out of nowhere. I'm 47 years old. I'm like, I'm gonna learn to do the splits, dagnabbit. I can't do the splits, but I'm like, I'm deciding that I'm doing it. Like, it's just happening. But there's another part of that deciding it, knowing it. The next step is declaring it. You gotta declare it. We tend to not declare things because it gives us a reason to not have an out. If we say it's happening, then we have to do it, right? Now we're accountable. So the next step to deciding is you've got to declare it. You got to tell people, like, this is happening. Like, look them in the eye, put your hand up, like, this is happening. Like, no joke, this is happening right now this year. And you got to give it a deadline. Like, this is happening. So it's in your body. Like, you decide it, and now you're declaring it. This is happening. Now, if you notice yourself resisting from declaring, what's that about? Any guesses? Raise your hand if you want to chime in. Any guesses what that's about? Susie? Yeah.
Accountability.
Yeah, because if we don't tell people, we don't declare it, what does that mean?
We don't have to do it.
We don't have to do it. No one cares. So the way for something not to happen is to not tell people. you don't tell anyone, it's not going to happen. But so many times we're scared to tell people. So just by making that decision and now declaring it, you're making a big difference right there. Okay? The next thing, get crazy clear on that driving core motivator. That's that real reason why. Like, why do I want this? Why do I want this? Patty just shared one a minute ago on what she wants and why. If we don't attach a feeling and emotion to it, it's not likely going to happen, because what happens is donuts happen or spending happens or toxic friends happen or something happens. We get temptation, right? Because we're not super clear on that feeling that we're after. But when we're clear on that, we're much more likely to stick to it. So get really clear on what it is that you want and why. The next thing is to get crystal clear on your vision. Now, a vision is like literally whatever you want to make it, but you have to be able to literally visualize. Did you know there's studies, there's athletes that have been injured, they can't train towards their whatever their sport is, but they will literally visualize playing the sport, practicing, and they don't lose strength. It's unbelievable. They can visualize going through the motions and they don't lose strength. There's athletes that train that way. Before going on stage, people do this. They visualize, what's my audience? Who am I talking to? What's the turnout going to be? People that get in tremendous shape, they visualize, how am I going to feel? What am I going to look like? They get really clear on that vision and they act as that person. Those of you who have done my programs know I'm a huge fan of vision boards. I love vision boards because it helps me visualize. Like, I can go through a magazine and pull out pictures and get really clear on what it is that I'm after and what I want. And what happens is when you're really clear on what it is that you want and you see it, you can literally see it, you start moving towards that and taking actions towards that. So it's not a woo-woo thing. It's not a like, oh, I put a vision up and it just happened. But what happens is you start getting really clear and you start taking those actions towards that and you start changing your thoughts towards that. Many years ago, and I'm going to show you guys this picture. This was me about 11 years ago. Can you see that? That's my daughter who's now 11, but this was me, what I looked like right after having her. I gained 60 pounds more than I am now when I was pregnant, and that's not just from hormones, that was from eating McDonald's French fries, let's be real. That's what was happening. But I was totally depressed, and I had a lot of weight to lose, and I was also going through a divorce at the time after I had her. Lifetime ago, but this is what I was starting from. And I remember thinking, I can't even remember what it feels like to be fit. I don't even understand what that would feel like, or to have energy. I mean, I would look in the mirror and I saw that, and I didn't understand. My thighs were rubbing together. I felt no confidence. I saw stuff hanging on me. I felt miserable. And I remember making this vision board, and I would just stare at that vision board of like fit women. I wasn't in fitness at the time. And I thought, well, what would she be doing? What would she be thinking about? What actions would she take? And I would do those things. Little actions every day, and it got me towards that. But that was that first step. So get crystal clear on your vision. Really important. And then get really clear on who it is you're hanging around. Like, who's in your tribe? Who are you around? And it's equally as bad to isolate. So listen up for those of you isolating. When we isolate, we stay in our own heads, which is even worse. Because our own heads are going to keep validating this stuff going on in our brain about what's not working and why it's not working. So isolating is even worse. So who are you hanging around? Who's in your tribe? Who are you talking to? Or are you just talking to yourself? And if there are people in your tribe or in your work environment, your friends, what are they saying to you? Are they validating excuses? Or are they helping you? Are they seeing you at a higher and a greater place? Are they leveling you up? And if they're not, how do we find those people? Because that is who you surround yourself is everything. How many of you have heard that expression, like you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with? It is so true. It is so true. So you're either leveling them up or they're leveling you down. So So why not pick people that are going to help level you up? Why not surround yourself with those people that see you at your highest and talk to you into those possibilities and learn from them? So really looking for that. And then what are you taking in? Not just who are you surrounding yourself in, but where are you getting your information from? Like, are you scrolling social media and watching TV? Or are you selectively listening to podcasts? Are you selectively reading books that are going to help lift you up? Are you having conversations with people that are wiser, that are going to help level you up? Are you taking the time to find groups and new people that are going to help lift you up? Are you actively joining groups that are going to help you with that? And then, because what you're listening to and who you're surrounding you with is going to be everything. It's going to be everything. And then the next thing is, are you actually investing in yourself? And I want to explain what I mean by that, because there's a couple components to that. Like, investing in yourself, your time and your money, those are two big parts of it. So like, are you actually taking time for yourself to work on yourself? A lot of times I hear, I don't have time. But if we don't have time to invest in ourselves, where are we investing our time? In a boss that we don't like? In friends that are negative? Like, where are we investing our time? Are we investing in ourselves to work on ourselves? And then financially, are you making an investment in yourself? Did you know when you hire a coach, and believe me and my husband, we hire lots of coaches. We invest a lot of money ourselves in mentorships and coaching for ourselves continuously. It's not so much that we're paying the person that we're paying. That's like investing in yourself. When we make a payment into something like that, we are investing in ourselves getting better. And it's crazy how we'll end up taking action when we do that. I see a lot of my clients on here. I know they can speak into that as well. It's like that investing into that, they're committed to learning and making a difference on themselves when they do that. It's truly an investment in yourself. Another thing to shift this is to put yourself in the right environment. Environment's everything. So it can be drastic, it can be little. Let me explain what I mean. I live in San Diego, California, for those of you who don't know. And many times I've had people say to me, if I lived where you lived, I would be fit and happy too. I love that when they say that, because what they don't know is that I chose to move here. I did not live someplace where it was happy and sunny and warm and pretty out. That's not where I grew up. I grew up outside of Washington, D.C. Now, some people might think that's pretty. That wasn't very motivating for me. It was cold in the winter and hot and humid in the summer. Some love it, I didn't. But I used to look at people in Southern California and say, oh, I just want to live in Southern California. So what did I do? I found a way to move here. It wasn't easy. I left everyone I knew. I sold a house. I had to shake up my job. But I made a decision to plant myself where I wanted to be. That's one aspect of environment. Like, you can choose to be where you want to be. You can make a plan to get there. If you can't physically move to another state, what can you do in your home to make it look different? Can you add a little waterfall? Can you add candle? Like, what can you do? Your environment is so important. Your environment's a lot. It's who you're hanging around with. It's what you see. It's what your surroundings are. What is your environment like? And then how can you put yourself in experiences that are going to make a big difference for you? They're going to make a big difference. Like, we tend to learn more from an actual experience. So I want you to think about this for a minute. You guys are on this call with me right now, and you'll get a lot out of it. Like, you'll leave and you might be fired up. You're ready to take some action, which is great. But how much more do you get when you've actually planted yourself somewhere for a few days, right? You know that. How many of you, like, you've taken a vacation and you remember, like, everything about that vacation, right? And then on the other side, you could think of, like, a tragedy day. Like, think about, I think every single one of you, assuming you're old enough to have been there, remembers where you were on 9/11. Like, we remember environments, experiences, like, you don't forget anything. If you've been married before, you remember every detail about your wedding. If you've lost somebody in your family, you remember that funeral. Like, experiences really seal the deal. So how can you create experiences so that you make a change and it lasts? Experiences are critical. That's a huge part of environment. The next step is to look at small steps every day. Now, yes, massive action makes a big difference. Yes, it does. I also think massive action can be very intimidating. If I tell you you've got to do all these things right now, what happens? Anyone know? Yeah, what happens? We get overwhelmed and then we feel like a failure, right? So I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't have to take massive action. But here's what you do get to do. You get to do a step every day. Like, what's a step that you can do every day if your goal is just to get better than yesterday? Every day you can take a step. Those of you who have learned nutrition from me, you know that one of the things I talk about is focusing on what can we add in versus what do we have to remove. I'm gonna say the same thing here. Like, the more you add in of these steps, the closer you get to your goal. It's like if you go outside and take one step forward, one step forward, one step forward, eventually you get there. But if we just sit inside and think about how far we gotta go, we never even try. Right? Who knows that? I've known that, so come on, let's be real. Like, so it's that one step. Can I take a baby step forward? Can I take a baby step forward? Now, massive action will get you a lot further, yes, but if that's stopping you, then forget the massive action. Take one step at a time, and that's okay. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not. But move forward. Stop being stuck with all the things you think you have to do. Just take action and move forward. You know, on those podcast interviews I just referred to, interviewing people, all these things I just listed out that I shared with you, it's amazing how they all said that in their own words. But the biggest thing that they all did is they all had a vision and they went for it and they put themselves in situations around other people doing it. They didn't worry about how, they didn't worry about the details, they didn't worry about anything. They just put themselves there and they went for it. I just gave you guys a lot of information quick. I still have some more. But I want to show you this. I want to show you a couple people because these are all people that when I met them, they were really stuck in the how. Like the how and all the reasons why they couldn't. And I'm going to show you the pictures because you're going to see a physical difference, but what you don't see is the mental difference that's happened also. So I'm showing you this because I want you to see that this could be you. And it can absolutely be you if you do these things and you decide. You make that decision, you start declaring, and you start taking these actions, okay? This is Nicole. Can you guys see her? This is my friend Nicole. I met her here. She had no idea how she was getting there. But she got clear in her vision, she decided, she went for it. She came to one of my breakthrough weekends. This is her now. One day at a time taking those actions. It's absolutely possible. Many of you have seen Terry. This is Terry. I met Terry here. Terry's 50 now. This is her now. What you guys don't see on these is not just this physical appearance, but it's what they're doing with their life now, like how happy they are, how they're thriving. It's not just the weight. It was that investing and changing themselves, learning that helped them drop. I love this picture. This is Terry's jeans that she sent me recently. This is her dropping jean sizes. Can you see that? How cool is that? Like, that's a vision. That's a vision. This is Amanda. Same thing. When she came to my breakthrough weekend, she was here. She's now here. She's training for a marathon right now, again. Another one, Karen. Also 50. All this is possible, you guys, all of it. It's starting with those steps. I've got some more to share, but I do want to open it up to some questions real quick. I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone, if anyone's lost on anything I've said. Any questions? Daniel, no questions? Okay. And I'm just going to scroll real quick. Put your hand up if you have a question so I can see what's happening here. Okay. No questions. Wow, you guys are my first group with no questions? Really? Okay, wow, I must be being clear. Who's excited about this? Okay, what's coming up for you guys? Who's like feeling like on fire, pumped, ready to go? Who wants to share? Are we just tired? What's going on? Come on. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anyone here. If you guys are on the phone, I can't see your hands up. So I know some people are calling in from the phone. Whoops, wait a minute, I think I just missed someone. Cynthia, are you waving or is that just, nope? Okay. Okay, hi Patty, let me unmute you. There you go, hi Patty.
Hi. First of all, I've been to your breakthrough, which was phenomenal. but also done your courses. What I have decided wholeheartedly, and I've declared it, not just in my business, because I just changed towards the end of this year. I changed a company that I was working for.
Okay.
Now I'm starting a new thing that I'm completely very uncomfortable with. I stepped out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
And starting from scratch. But also I decided, I actually enrolled in a camp transformation, and I'm going to start January 7th.
Nice.
Along with what you have done for us and what I've done with your other courses, and have your book, just following everything that I've learned from you. I'm just adding that to it.
I love it. Nice, Patty. And you're declaring it right now, so it's happening.
Yes, I am declaring it.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Anybody else want to share? Okay, let's see. So you guys, so here's the thing. You can take all this information, and I know I just gave you like a lot of information quick, and hopefully you took some good notes. You can take all this information and you can do this. Like, you can do this on your own. Or you can make a decision that you're going to get outside help to do this. This is up to you. The reason to get outside help for something like this is to stay accountable, to have a new tribe, to have somebody on you so that it happens. Massive results happen when you declare, you decide, you're committed, all those things that we went over. And the bonus is when you can put yourself in an experience where this happens, where you remember it and you've got an accountability. So I want you to really think about that, whether that's with me or on your own. This is really a critical piece, because if you just wrote down the notes and you're pumped right now and you don't do anything with it, what happens? Nothing changes. Nothing changes. So really important to recognize that. Yeah, let's see. I've got Maria, or is it Marla? Marla. Maria. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to say that I've done the last program, and what happened was, I don't think my problem was, I really didn't think that it would work for me.
Okay.
And that was with me the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I just kept thinking, I know I can't lose the weight, and that stuck with me. And this time I'm really excited because I've looked at everybody's fantastic results. I've been on the boards the whole time, and I'm like, everybody lost weight, everybody did it. And I'm 50, and I'm like, I know I can do it.
Yeah.
But deep down it was bothering me, like, oh, I just don't think I could do it. And it's that mindset. And I've read everything, I've done so much of the vision board and the mindset, and it's just getting over that hurdle that, just because I've been on a weight loss thing my whole life, that I just have to convince myself that I can do it. There's nothing that says I can't do it. I just have to prove to myself that.
I love that you shared that, Maria, because I actually have a name for that. Okay, you're right. It's called a self-imposed stop.
Yeah.
So a self-imposed stop is when we believe that something is not going to be possible for us. Like we say, I'm too old, it's too late, I've tried everything. As soon as you have a self-imposed stop, you will continue to find evidence to be right about it. And it stops us dead in our tracks. This is key. A self-imposed stop will absolutely crush results. Which brings me to another thing, and that's having people, a team, somebody else that believes in you and can shut that off. That's key, because you will self-sabotage when you have a self-imposed stop and you believe it. And what we also do with self-imposed stops is we tend to find evidence to validate our self-imposed stop.
Yeah.
So we say, I'm too old, and your friend, so yes, you are.
Yeah.
I've tried everything, so have I.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to kill those self-imposed stops.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stop it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
Thanks for sharing that, Maria.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a question or want to share like that? Let's see. Raina, I see your hand up. Raina, you might have to unmute yourself. I'm pressing unmute, but it's not unmuting. Let me see. Missing anybody else? Okay. Guys, and I'm going to stay on and answer some more questions, but I do want to share, because this is like a big shift for me and a big news of something I'm doing special. So me and my husband, many of you know Brooks, we've been really venturing more into coaching. What I've decided is that I have so much free crap online. Like I have a lot, you can find anything I've taught online, and I'm over that. Like I really want to, and I'm over my like little program. I have lots of ebooks and programs and stuff like that, but where I personally am feeling I can make a bigger impact, and I'm feeling so much gratitude and like I can really make a difference, is going deeper with small groups of people and one-on-one. So I'm committed this year that I am working with like a handful of people, and that's it, whether that's my private coaching clients or my small breakthrough groups. So I want to share with you guys, because there's literally 20 spots, and that is it. And I'm going to be opening this up across platforms, but I'm going to let you guys know about this first. I only have 20 spots total for my next 2 breakthrough weekends. I'm putting 10 women in each, and that is it. I'm cutting it off after that. Those of you at my last breakthroughs, I've had some where I had 17 people. I've had some where I've had 6, and I've decided that like 10 is my number, and I do not go more than that. I'm really specific. So if this is of interest to you, let me just tell you what this is a little bit. You would actually be with me and my husband in San Diego. You'd be in our home for 3 days where we hang out together. I help you create your whole vision and your plan for 2019. Like we go deep into your driving core motivator, help you with what's holding you back from getting to the next level, and we help you create a vision and a plan. We spend the whole weekend together with other women that are on that same mission as you, because I selectively put these groups together. You're with us every step of the way, and we have a great weekend. It's not only fun where we're going to be cooking together and working out together, we're going to be going deep on your vision and your plans for 2019. And we're tying it with a 3-month coaching program where you're going to be working with us, coaching for 3 months to make sure this is all happening. So if this is of all interest to you, I'm just going to give you guys the dates. I've got 2 of them, February 15th and April 12th. It's the weekend of February 15th and April 12th. And I expect it to fill up quick, because I think these are the only 2 that we're going to do this year. And I'm going to give you where you go. And Liana, if you don't mind, if you can type it in the comments. I just want to put this in there. It's what you would do is apply first. It's nataliejillfitness.com/apply. And that's how we'll see if it's a match for you. And I see some of you on there that have been to my breakthrough. I would love to like have you come. Do you mind sharing a little bit? Sandy, you're nodding your head. Can you share a little bit about it? Go ahead. Thank you. Hi, Sandy.
Yeah, hi. So, I went back last April, and it was amazing. I have a lot of work that I'm still doing, but for the mindset part, it really helped. I met a great group of women that I'm still in contact with, 4 or 5 or 6 of them, and it's just been super supportive and super just a really positive thing. So I'm excited to see what you're doing with the next part to go deeper into that mindset, because for me it's huge, and it's been a self-imposed stop.
Yeah. So. Thank you, Sandy. And I loved having fun with you that weekend, Sandy. You were fun. I see some other girls on. Any of you, Jess, Melissa, are you open to sharing a little bit? Jess? Hi, Jess.
Hi there.
Hi.
It's so good to see everybody on this call. Yes, the breakthrough experience, if you can make it happen, unbelievable, life-changing. I was at the same one with Sandy, and I haven't seen Melissa's face, but I just heard her name, and Londa and Susie and Karen, some people from these before and after photos. And it's, of course it's the fitness stuff, and that's all how we found you in the first place. But if anyone has an opportunity to go to one of these weekends, it's just full immersion, and it feels like a spa. I'm not even exaggerating. There was a private yoga teacher, and the chef that helps us learn how to make these meals, and they're decadent. And we work out, we take walks, we dive deep, we do vision boards. Really, it's truly like wrapping all of the perfect keys to success into a blissful, amazing weekend where you really do make friendships. I'm claiming for life, girls.
Yes.
We're in it for life.
We love you for life. We've taken you for life. Thanks, Jess. Thank you, girls. Yes, I've had, and Landa, I see you. I'm unmuting you for a minute. Do you mind sharing, Landa, for a second?
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi. So I was on the same breakthrough weekend with Jess and Sandy, and it was awesome. It's truly an investment in yourself. Um, I was really hesitant. It just the whole part about investing in yourself. It's not that I didn't want to. It's just a leap of faith. And when I went, it was just incredible. I mean, it's beyond what you can even imagine. And the time that you just devote to looking forward, building your vision, building a group, a tribe that is there to support you, to encourage you. I mean, you're not going to find that in probably your current circle. I mean, it's just that all these women, we all have kind of the same direction, want to go to the same direction, same goals. And it was just so awesome to spend time together and bond. And like Jess said, you know, what we have like is ladies for a lifetime is because we all wanted something so bad and we wanted to work together and we help each other and we support one another. And it was a really incredible weekend, and I definitely want to go again to build on myself.
Yes, and we're up leveling Landa, so it's gonna get better every time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Landa. Susie, do you mind sharing for a minute? Hi, Susie.
Hi.
Hi. Do you mind sharing a little bit about your experience? Oops, where'd she go? Lost her. I think she was gonna share and we lost her. Anyway, I'd love to take any questions about anything, girls. We're gonna put the link. If you are
The video went away.
Oops. Are you there?
Yeah?
Oh, sorry, we lost you for a minute.
I know. I keep touching the phone. Not going to do that again.
Do you mind sharing
Hi, guys.
about your experience with it, with Breakthrough?
Breakthrough was so great. Just meeting you in person, seeing how real and genuine you are and how you really care about us. I just felt the love, and I just felt that this was a good group for me because it's totally doable, and all the tools that you give us, I got to see the tools in person. I got to use them in my life throughout this year, and I'm really grateful because you get what you put into it, and I saw that you want us to work hard because you know what's best for us. And that weekend really showed what we all saw what we were capable of that weekend. You brought a lot of emotion out of us that maybe we didn't think about before. So your questions are always good, and Brooks, that's when we got to meet him, and he was such a big part of a lot of healing process for a lot of us. And it's taken me to this day, and definitely would love to go to another breakthrough. I think if anyone has the opportunity and they're serious and they decide this is going to be like the next step.
Thank you. Yeah, so the bottom line is you don't have to by any means go to my breakthrough weekend. In fact, I only have 20 spots possible. So if you want to go and you don't get in, you have a lot of the tools even from this call if you can start implementing these things. But I highly suggest getting yourself in a tribe, in a group that's going to help up-level you and getting that experience, because that's what you're going to remember. I think of even just my last breakthrough, some of the exercises that we did and where we were, like just the fun that was had. I just remember all the women saying like, this is so much fun. They didn't remember having that much fun since they were a kid. And that is my goal, is to get you back to a time when you were feeling your best. Because if you can remember that feeling and re-engage that feeling, then we have something to work towards. We know what it is that we're after. But when we stay in our heads and we're not having those experiences, we stay stuck in what's not working and we can't get out of it. So I hope for all of you that you take a lot of what we shared today and implement this into 2019. I'm hoping to do more of these calls if you guys found this helpful. Did you guys find this helpful today? Okay. And if you are interested in one of those spots in Breakthrough, please let us know as soon as possible. You can let us know in the comments, you can message us, or you can literally just go to nataliejillfitness.com/apply. and we'll get your application and we'll know to talk to you. And I'm happy to jump on the phone with anybody that applies that's serious about this to make sure it's the right match before we do it. Any final questions? Let's see. All right, well, thank you guys. Thank you so much. It was great seeing all of you. Bye.